lovely people. Welcome back to another edition of Sex, Drugs, and Opera.
What?
Sex, Drugs, and Opera.
What?
Sex, Drugs, and Opera! Man,
Sorry,
this is your second
sorry,
podcast. I got the joke.
I'm losing my hearing.
I got the joke.
My name is Beethoven.
Beethoven! This is your podcast for August 8th, 2020. How you doing? How the fuck are you doing?
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad.
So yeah, man, we talked about Beethoven in the last one.
Look, something I didn't say about Beethoven in the last one was I've had this feeling for the first time. We've done all this. We've done what? We've done Wagner. We've done Verdi. We've done Monteverdi. Three good ones to do, right?
True. Yeah,
Beethoven is less of an opera composer, but of course one of the composers of history.
Totes.
I have not even come close to the feeling that I had when studying Beethoven, which is there is way too much important and good music to cover.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this motherfucker was influential. He didn't do much in opera, but people say Fidelio is an influential thing. His piano sonatas, influential things.
Oh, yeah.
His violin concerto, his piano concertos, influential things. His piano trios, his fucking symphonies.
Yeah.
Everything. His songs, even people say, which I'm not the biggest fan of his songs, but fuck it. His mass, his oratorio, everything that this motherfucker touched somehow was great. Except, and we'll talk about it maybe a little bit later. I guess we won't talk about it that much. He wrote this fucking like oratorio after Bonaparte was defeated for like the Congress of Europe.
Oh, okay.
And I remember listening to it when I was in college and thought to myself, that fucking sucks. That piece of music fucking sucks.
Yeah,
which
you're not allowed to say that, but it's like, man, it can't be all bangers.
It can't be. We've had some shit podcasts.
Could you
the
pull your pop
Beethovens of
guard off your
podcasting.
microphone for me?
No,
Michael
am I
Pegger?
popping a little bit?
Yeah, you push it. You nose it onto the microphone.
I do. I'm a nudger.
When you get all excited.
I'm a nudger.
Yeah, man. So on the last podcast, we talked about Beethoven up to his time in Heiligenstadt and then his move back to Vienna.
We talked
and the
about,
start of his heroic period.
Which, by the way, before we dive balls deep into the heroic period, something really interesting that I learned was about the Immortal Beloved. Or no, sorry, the Heiligenstadt Testament.
Right.
Those are the two famous letters that he wrote. So we'll talk about Immortal Beloved later. But in the Heiligenstadt Testament, he wrote to his brothers. The one he was on pretty good terms with, and also was his fucking secretary. But the other one, Johann.
Kaspar, right? You're talking about
Kaspar, right?
Okay.
The other one, Johann, he didn't write his name in the fucking letter.
Yeah.
What he did was he just left an empty spot in the letter. Now, a lot of people have sort of speculare about what that butt fucking means.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it had something to do with his hatred towards his father, who was also named Johann.
Yeah.
But this guy was like Franz Johann or something like that. So
yeah. I mean, the two theories are either one, he wasn't sure how to write his name because his name had just gone through some legal change or something like that.
That and he had gotten married or something like that, and there was also this big fucking fight with his brother about like.
Well, he tried to break up the marriage. Beethoven did. He went back and because
Beethoven was a bit of a moral dick.
He was a dick because basically the woman had like a child before, like an illegitimate child or something like that. Yeah. And so Beethoven went back and tried to break it up, and like even went to like the religious authorities and like the courts and stuff. Like
which we might be shitting the bed because that might have happened after this letter. I cannot remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But like,
whatever. He
had a tough relationship with his brother.
Yeah.
Which, things get cleaned up later.
But that's interesting. You're going to write the letter and you can't even write his fucking name? I mean, come on.
I don't know if we ever said it, but
Beethoven.
the letter never got sent, of course. They found it. They found it after he died. Man,
they will find nothing of mine. Only WhatsApp. I don't write letters that often.
Yeah, it'd be hard to write about people now. Unless you access their email or something, then there'd be way more information now.
Yeah,
than
but
ever
most of the
before.
time it's going to be like, he had a cocktail at a bar on this day.
Oh, you'd have to
and
read.
he said life is wonderful.
How hard would it be? Because back then it's like you read through Beethoven's books or like Verdi's letters or whatever. But it's like if you read through everything I wrote on WhatsApp and all my emails account, like I have like 4 or 5 different email accounts, like all the bullshit I write, like
basically,
oh my
the
God.
the biographies of the future, if they lose stuff, is going to be based purely on somebody's internet search history, which is purely based on their porn preferences.
Yeah.
Biographies of the future are only going to be what your porn searches were.
Now, biographies of the future are going to be an algorithm that basically you just click through. Like Michael Pegger's like love interests, Michael Pegger's family, and like as you click through, it's like it just pulls shit off the internet
and it'll
about
be
everything.
so advanced that it'll be able to determine the thoughts because everything's deterministic. They'll be able to determine the thoughts I would have had I lived longer.
Yeah, the hypothetical section, Mike's porn interest sections, like all the taboo stuff. You can go as deep in any direction as you want. That's the biography of the future.
That's what she said.
That's what they all say. So, all right, man. So Beethoven's back in Vienna, which we didn't talk about in the last podcast, but we had kind of brought up that Vienna is a little bit like the New York of things back then.
That's right.
Because even back then, as it is now, it's like, yeah, these people are really talented. But like, as we talk about more and more of these composers, some similarities you see is one, they had people who supported them financially. Right. And two, they had a situation where they were able to meet the right people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, Beethoven's stuff was good, and maybe he would have had a career, maybe not. I don't know. But people with big names, established people, were kind of supporting his work and putting it out in the mainstream.
And more than anything, they wanted him to fucking stay. They really cared that he stayed in Vienna.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we're going to talk about it soon, but like, or maybe it's in the Fidelio podcast we talk about it, but like, I guess in the Fidelio podcast we'll talk more about it, but like, Schubert was in the audience, sold his textbooks to go see this stuff, and saw the guy who sang Pizarro sing, and then he eventually, his whole life, had a working relationship with this guy. This guy was a big interpreter
I didn't
of Schubert's
know that.
music. Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the Fidelio.
Fogel or whatever.
Yeah. Völfel or something. He was like the first.
Yeah, genau. Oh, shit.
Pizarro. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so you can tell we're recording these out of order. We haven't recorded the Fidelio one yet.
No.
But like, yeah, anyway, so like Schubert was in the audience, like he saw that singer, so he worked with that singer, and that's how the shit worked back then and works now, and that's why it is kind of important, even though the internet exists. People want to be like, hey, can you come by at 2 o'clock today? People don't want to plan a meeting with you 8 months in the future. They want to call you, hey, I saw you in that show last week. Can you come by today and sing something for me? Yeah, that's how it still works today. To this day, and so I get kind of why you got to be in New York and America and Vienna back then, but now in Europe these days, I don't know, you don't have to be in Berlin. There's like too many jobs these days or something like that. I guess if you had like a big creative project you were trying to do, maybe Berlin, but you and I do this from Darmstadt, You and
I do this from Darmstadt, and back then he recognized, even though he was brilliant, he recognized that he had a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And he needed to learn in person. There were no fucking Skype lessons or anything like that, or email correspondence. It would take months sometimes for him to correspond with somebody because you can't say email's slow. Click, you got it.
Yeah.
Then it was, you had to fucking sit down and write the letter, put your fucking little precious wax seal on there.
You couldn't make a mistake, so you had to really,
make a mistake,
you had to
so
know what you were going to write.
Of paper,
say it out loud before
by
you
the
do
way,
it.
cost like a day and a half's wages or something.
Yeah, paper's not easy.
Paper was not fucking easy. Everything we take for absolute granted today is, I mean, the Lebensqualität, I almost said. But
nice.
Lebensqualität.
Like quality of life.
Quality of life back then compared to now is it's nothing.
Oh, yeah. And as we go through the rest of Beethoven's life here, it's like we talk about Verdi and Beethoven and all these composers, they were just sick most of the time.
All the fucking time. That's what I was going to say.
A lot of their life, I mean, like again, we'll talk about it in the Fidelio podcast, so we're not going to talk about it here, but Fidelio wasn't successful because Vienna had been fucking bombed by the French and Beethoven was like hiding in a fucking cellar. Right. You know what I mean? And like a bunch of French people weren't going to see a fucking German opera. Like, it's like these people, like Verdi also was like in cities that were getting bombed and shit. It's like these cities, like they were sick all the time in these cities that were getting bombed and they were still doing this shit.
Right.
And I know today it's hard with like Corona and this type of stuff and all these like big things that happen, but don't be discouraged because there's still time.
And
Beethoven took 5 years off here, 5 years off there. Verdi took 10, 12 years off here. It's like, take years off. Take years off from your singing. They all did.
Yeah, and it's about how you use the time when you fucking got it, Like Beethoven, even though he was somewhere, was still fucking composing. He was still doing shit. Look, sometimes
well, even if he wasn't,
like
the point is take a break.
Or take a break or whatever. I just get sick sometimes of people talking about like, yeah, there's shit that's going wrong today, but today is still the best shit has ever. You don't want to live in any other period.
Yeah.
In any other period.
Yeah, a lot
None
of shit,
of them.
A lot of shit needs to get better, and we should never stop
The
working
Spanish
towards
flu,
that. But fuck.
The Spanish flu is a comparable thing to the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It killed so many more people. We should be happy that we live in a place that, even though in America the handling of it was pretty fucked up, it still killed far fewer people.
Yeah.
We should be happy that we live in these fucking times.
I mean, we're waiting for a vaccine, and that's a huge advantage.
Yeah,
and
they didn't get to wait for a vaccine
back then.
then.
Back then, it was just like, not Spanish flu, but back further, like the plague and shit. It was just like, everyone's going to get it, and you're either going to live or you're not.
People died of their teeth a long time ago.
And a lot of these composers could have been cured of shit. They could have lived to be like 90 or something like that.
Sure.
But
Surely.
So let's get back into it, Beethoven here. So he comes back to Vienna, and like I said, we're going to skim over the Fidelio stuff that happened at this time. He had gotten hired. I'll just kind of briefly talk about it. He had gotten hired to write a piece at the theater in Wien, and then he was like, fuck it, I want to do something else. So he kind of took some of that music, and it became a lot of the music in Fidelio. Yeah. And then the guy who had hired him and had let him live there eventually got fired, and so they kicked Beethoven then out of the living quarters at the theater at Vienna, and then he moved to the suburbs of Vienna
with his brother Kaspar.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where we pick up is. I think at that point he had lived with his friend from the Broiling family. Or something
Broiling,
like that.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't with his brother. It was with one of the good old Broinings
Stefan,
from Bonn.
one of the Broining boys from Bonn.
The Broining boys, the Bonn Broining boys.
Fucking droopy dog.
Bonn Broining boys.
Bonn Broiling boys.
Bonn Broining boys.
Butthole.
So, Beethoven, you're one of the Broining boys in Bonn now.
Beethoven blowjobless.
You
okay.
poor Beethoven.
So he's in the burbs of Vienna,
and Bonn with the Broining boys in Beethoven.
Of course, this slowed up his work on his opera, which we'll skip over. Fidelio, which was Leonore at that point, Leonore. And so the opera happened. It wasn't a big success in the beginning. And so then in 1807, so Beethoven at this point, I guess, is like 37 years old. He got hired by Haydn's former to do a concert for Haydn's former patron up in London or something like that, up in England.
No,
and this
Esterhazy. Or
in England.
Yeah. Sorry. Esterhazy also. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Esterhazy also commissioned him to do something. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Esterhazy was Haydn's former patron,
and that performance was in London. Well, because Esterhazy wasn't in his residence wasn't in London.
Okay, I think the publisher was in London.
Oh,
the publisher in London hired him for a patron who was
Esterhazy,
then hired for a patron somewhere else to do this Mass in C.
Okay,
right. And so that's when we get the Mass in C major,
right.
And so then at that point. It was a terrible fucking show, I guess. It was poorly rehearsed. Beethoven was like yelling at people during the show. It started and stopped a lot. Yeah, dude.
Not only because people didn't meet his standards, but at this point, remember, he's losing his hearing. I have fine hearing, and I yell at people all the time. Can you imagine if Michael Pegger were to lose his fucking hearing?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be
headphones!
It'd be the end of our friendship.
They're too loud!
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing about losing your hearing is you gauge how loud you're being based on what you can hear.
Right.
You're just going to talk louder.
Right.
You're just going to play louder. Everything's going to be louder.
You don't even notice it.
Yeah. And you just start doing it naturally. But at this point, a big patron of Beethoven was this Archduke Rudolf
right.
in Vienna. And at this point, he fucked off because the war was coming to Vienna. Right, and so he left the fucking capital, and Beethoven wrote this Les Adieux piece for him, and then this music was for him. And during the French bombing of Vienna, then Beethoven took refuge in the cellar of his brother Kaspar.
That's what I was thinking about.
Which is what you're talking about. They were bombing the fucking city, and he's chilling in the fucking cellar. And then we start to get into this kind of. So of course, again, we talk about it, but then there's this French occupation of Vienna, which of course affected like the success of a German opera and stuff like that. But Kaspar and his son and and all this stuff become a big part of Beethoven's life.
Yeah, Caspar, who was sort of unofficially helping Beethoven at the time, he started to become his official secretary, and he didn't have, I guess, talent for so much, but he started he just started demanding the fees that Beethoven always kind of wanted, and just started getting them. So he was a big part in Beethoven's financial success. But like a lot of these guys, they oftentimes weren't so fucking great with money, right?
No, the composers, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner was fucking terrible with money, right?
And Mozart was fucking terrible with money. I mean,
I'm terrible with money. Everyone's,
everybody's terrible. You're a composer too,
Yeah.
Jared. Jared, you need well, you got sponsors here.
I'm gonna die poor, everybody.
Definitely. There's not a person I know that's gonna die more poor than you.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna be giving your last little bit to sex, drugs, and opera, and your compositions about garlic dicks.
I'll die. I'll be known in history as the dick joke, the only dick joker composed of opera. But
we need one. We don't have one yet.
I know a hole needed to be filled.
That's right.
So at this time, Beethoven's kind of stressed out because there's a bunch of fucking war and shit, and he's going deaf. So his doctor, who was like a buddy of his, I guess, was kind of like, "You got to go chill out in this place," which was called. What was it called? Do you remember? It was like Teplitz or something like that.
Something like that.
And it was Teplitz. It was Teplitz. And he was like, "Go chill in
which
fucking."
Sounds out east.
Yeah, it does. It sounds east. I don't know
Kinda
where Teplitz
like,
is.
Chemnitz.
So he's in Teplitz.
Fuck Chemnitz.
And this is then in Teplitz where he writes this. What's it called? Beloved Immortal or Immortal Love?
Immortal
or
Beloved.
Immortal Beloved letter, which. Nobody knows who this is to. You can read all these online if you want to know the text from his Heiligenstadt Testament or his Immortal Beloved. Go fucking read it online.
It doesn't matter. He wasn't getting the poon anyway.
No.
He loved her, wasn't getting it, right? So, actually, you mentioned Malfatti, right? Teresa Malfatti was the daughter of this guy. Of this doctor.
Yeah, she was 19.
She was 19. He proposed marriage to her. He was fucking 40.
Yeah. I mean, he was in his 40s. I mean, he did that in 1810. No, it was later than that. Yeah, he was in his 40s.
He was 40 years old and fucking proposing to a 19. But look, this guy is throwing out any fishing line he can get at this fucking point.
Right.
His ugly ass face and his objectionable personality has driven off every bit of tenderness that he could have found.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, there were not too many. I don't know if there was a person that I read about that he didn't have, like, a parting of ways with at one point or another.
And people were just like, fuck that guy.
Like the Breunings, he had, and they were as close to him as anybody. He fucking had a parting of ways with them later. Whenever you get to the legal battle over legal battle, but fucking Caspar, he had a parting of ways with. Johann had a parting of ways with.
Yeah, he was
everybody.
a tough dude to be around. But the girl that Mike's talking about, Malfatti, I think is her name, is his doctor's daughter. 1940. She rejects him, and then he wrote for her Für Elise, this piano piece. Then
that's right,
is for her.
Which kind of.
They
don't know if it was
they
her.
don't know, but I mean, nobody knows a lot of this shit. But like, that's kind of common.
And it's suspected maybe Immortal Beloved is about her, but it's also about this Antonia.
Right.
Antonia Brentano, right? This is Beethoven being like, I don't care who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
If you're coming my way, I'm coming your way.
Right.
This was a married noblewoman, and he just wants somebody at this point.
Yeah. Well, and so like Mike mentioned, I think in the last podcast, is as he gets more and more deaf, he starts having to write conversations. He had a person that would like write what someone said.
That's right.
He would write back. So it's all fucking transcribed. And we know from these books that then he started resorting to prostitutes.
Right. Which is why I said he's not really a virgin.
Yeah, he's not a virgin because he was definitely banging these prostitutes, but
which is probably why he didn't have so much money.
No, and I hope someone out there had a big love of Beethoven that we just ruined. I hope you thought he was a pure dude. Dude was fucking prostitutes.
Whatever. I don't have a problem with prostitutes. I don't have a problem with prostitutes at all.
I don't have a problem with prostitutes either. I'm just saying, like, people put these people, like these fucking composers up on pedestals like they're fucking perfect people.
Of course they're not perfect
By
people.
today's standards, they would be they'd be like a rapper, like that image, you know what I mean? They
Absolutely.
were dirty fucking people, and you act like that they're like super proper fucking people, like
Right.
like Bach's getting like blown by students, Beethoven's fucking prostitutes, like I mean, people are like having sex with their family members, like it's
Mozart
fucking,
dying of syphilis, for God's
yeah,
sake.
it's gross back then,
It
man.
was fucking gross. First off, they only had literal pig intestine condoms. Like, they had different
That's
kinds
so
of
gross.
condoms, but that was like the thing to use. First off, it was really, really similar to a modern latex condom.
Yeah.
There are pores in the intestine, in the intestine skin, but it's not big enough for a fucking sperm to go through the pores. So it did nothing for STDs, but whatever, you know.
How did they?
You win some, you lose some.
How do you find that out? How do you find out? I don't want to know.
How do you find out that a pig intestine is? Well, they were already using it for sausage.
Yeah, that's
they
how
were already using it for making sausage.
Yeah.
There's no way one of those fucking farmers wasn't like, might as well put my dick in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff where it's like it wasn't for its intended purpose, but you see it and you're like, like
whatever that was. It's
That
actually
could
not
work.
the least effective condom ever.
Yeah.
It was reusable also.
oh, bring it back, bring it.
Wash out that pig skin, baby.
Okay, can I? When you're done with it, can I get a turn? That's fucking gross. You know that happened. Oh god, we only got one for everybody here.
I'd have to use baby pig intestines.
Jesus. The teacup pig condoms. That's fucking gross.
That's fucking terrible.
Whenever we do these podcasts, I always hope someone listens for the hope of being informed, and then we just like we
They
hit
are informed.
we hit him with the teacup pig condom.
I'll bet you there are
And they
fewer
fucking
people
quit.
who are listening to this that knew about pig intestine condoms than they knew about the Immortal Beloved letter.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you're getting both in
you're
one
getting
place.
Both. And look,
We're the Walmart of podcasts, man.
look, dude.
It's all here.
Bye. We got guns.
We
in the
got
back,
dick
Chris.
jokes. We got classical composer history. What else do you want?
Look, the thing is, I don't blame them. If I had that much fucking rejection from women in my life, I'd be looking for comfort from the ladies of the night. I'd be doing it. I'm surprised he didn't write some fucking sonatas for him and stuff.
Seriously. You know what, though, is at the same point in time, we're like at 1809, I guess, 1812 in his life. He's like in his early 40s. That is when he went back and tried to break up this marriage with his brother. So when he wrote the Heiligenstadt Testament, he did not have such a major problem with his brother at that point in time.
Okay, I see.
So I don't know if it could be because I mean, I'm sure they weren't great, you know what I mean? But in 1812 is when he went back and he tried to break up this marriage because he's like, that woman had a child out of wedlock, you know, and he's doing that shit.
Well, the thing about it is there's this reoccurring fucking theme with Beethoven, and that is he tends to think it seems because he is so good at organizing his musical thoughts and creating something brilliant.
Yeah.
I think he tended to think that he could do the same with life.
Yeah.
That somehow life was comparable to composition, which you could make maybe an argument that it is, but life is way more complicated.
Yeah,
way
because-
more complicated.
Because you have things reacting back to
And
you.
he thought, if I am as good at, I am so good at composing, if I can just take those abilities that I have and apply it to life,
Yeah.
then I could create something great. So I have no doubt that he was doing so out of sort of like a perverse desire to do something good on behalf of his brother.
Yeah.
It's a really conservative way of thinking. I know better than you do how you should live your life.
Yeah, sure,
right?
sure.
Which is what Beethoven thought. He thought that he knew better than his brother how his brother should be living his life and with whom.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of like ways of thinking you have are enforced by what you're doing every day, and a lot of these composers were control freaks because composers today, because it's like you're alone, you write this thing, you control every aspect of it, you go into your software and every piano, every pianissimo, every crescendo, every bar, every dot, it's like you put in there, and then you control people. You're like, nah, man, that's not what I want. It's like, how do you transition from doing that every day to not treating people like that?
That's
You
right.
know, this is what I want. You're not listening.
Especially
Like, you're not doing what
when
I
you're
want.
a genius of that fucking magnitude.
Yeah, I get why these people become assholes. I'm not saying it's okay, but, you know, I kind of get what it happens.
In this period, dude, we're talking about the Eroica. Basically all of the majority of his symphonic work is encompassed in this time, along with the revision. Is the revision of Fidelio in this time? No, the revision of Fidelio happens later.
Like 1814, I think, is when like they produced, because that opera was called Leonora, and then it became Fidelio. I think 1814.
Right, and that's the second or third revision. He had.
I think it was the third one, and he had a bunch of librettists and composers look at it because it was 3 acts and they cut it down.
He blamed. He blamed the fucking failure of the first one a lot on the tenor.
Yeah.
Just saying, you couldn't fucking sing this. And he couldn't. You want to know why? It's fucking hard to sing. It's fucking hard to sing.
Yeah,
I listen to it, I'm like, Jesus. My larynx never goes higher in my throat than when I'm listening to
I think the voice is very hard to write for, because piano's piano. You know, violin for the most part is violin, and you can write to different skills and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's a physical thing, and the limitations are like physical.
I don't know anybody who sings Beethoven and thinks, oh yeah, this guy really knew how to write for the voice.
But the different vocal weights between the different fächer and stuff like this, and like tessitura versus range, you know, that's hard. That's hard to do unless you sing, you know, and you sing like operatically. It's tough to do.
But like I said, his symphonies like fucking 3 through 8.
Yeah,
we're all in this middle period. We're all in this, and I mentioned earlier that the so a couple themes that came go in and out were issues with money. It seems everybody back then had fucking issues with money, but this guy was basically writing all the time, so he had no other ways of making fucking money. He hated teaching.
Yeah,
he
hated
teaching.
Not
want to fucking teach,
no.
which by the way, I mean, is a lot of people's bread and butter now.
Yeah.
Because the opera houses are closing down. You're trying to teach that next generation.
Mike and I were having a conversation about that earlier, that, man, I look back at the last 12, 14, 15 years of my life. Having students has saved me so many times that I don't know if I'll ever stop teaching, because when shit hits the fan, which it does sometimes in ways you could never expect.
Right.
Nobody saw Corona coming. No, I had a really nice 2020 lined up, and it was fucking gone. You know, I had some nice opportunities, and they're just fucking gone now, all of them. You know, and I already had the students. And it fucking saved my ass until I figured out what I was going to do.
Right.
Because that's just cash in your hand every fucking week.
And you got inventive with it. Yeah, I had some students and I lost them all. And I because I'm lazy as fuck, I haven't really gotten back into it yet. But you were teaching over Skype and shit.
It went better than I thought. I thought most people would be adverse to it, but people were at home and they're sick of just being at home all the time. And people just want to change in routine, and people were happy to do it. I don't like it. It didn't work too well, but like for a temporary time, it worked. But for those people out there that having careers, man, think about having at least a couple students. It's like having like gold or something, you know? It's like, if shit hits the fan, at least I got that, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. But Beethoven fucking hated teaching, so a lot of his money was coming from, because he couldn't perform anymore. He used to make a lot of money from performing.
That was a huge part
and that
of
was
his,
a huge hit.
That was a huge hit he took, because he was sought after big time as a virtuoso pianist.
Right.
He also, by the way, I think a lot of people don't know this, he also studied violin in his early years in Wien.
Yeah, sure.
He studied from a famous violinist. He was very, very good. Which is clear when you look at his violin concerto, which might be still to this day my favorite piece of music.
It's very hard to write for instruments that you have no idea how to play.
That you have no idea about, and he certainly had an idea about
to write something good.
It
you know, you can write supporting stuff because you're like, I know the limitations, but
look, Beethoven went through some tough times too, and when he did, he had a fucking benefit concert. You see all kinds of benefit concerts. People, I've seen how many. I'm moving to this city. Help come.
I did at least 5 or 6 of those.
Right, you did 5 or 6. I did one. I know so many people.
I ripped everybody off. It was good.
His fucking benefit concert included the premieres of the 5th and 6th Symphony, the 4th Piano Concerto, extracts from the Mass in C, and an aria, and a choral fantasy. Fucking huge, and not just that, but massively good pieces of music, all at a fucking benefit concert. And by the way, this is a guy who had admirers, had people just giving him money. Like, Beethoven could be said to be the first composer who composed basically away from commission to commission to commission.
Yeah.
Before that, it was, I'm composing when I got a commission.
Right.
And Beethoven was like, I got some shit in my head. I want to put it down, and this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah, he
because I
saved a lot
believe
of
in
stuff, and then it's
Yeah.
like when the commission came, he's like, oh yeah, I got it, it's ready.
And he could do that because he had a bunch of people giving him money, but it still wasn't enough. He needed to fucking have some benefit concerts.
Yeah, you lose those performances. It's
Because
like
I'm moving to grad school.
I need headshots, everybody.
Headshots.
I totally did one of those. I can't remember why, but I think I've told the story
Did you do
before.
the moving to Europe one?
I think I did. I did a moving to New York one because I moved to New York for a short time, and I bought Franzia and I filled everyone's like this whole table with all these plastic wine
Oh,
glasses.
the box of wine.
With a box of wine, and I put one expensive bottle of wine on the table.
Nice.
And-
Good job.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is good. What is this? I'm gonna
Right,
buy
see,
this." And I was like,
see.
"Yeah, it's fucking buy
See,
like
power of
one
suggestion.
€25 bottle for $25 bottle of wine, and then the rest fucking Franzia bitches."
See, the thing is, you could probably take a lot of Beethoven's music that nobody's ever fucking heard and just pass it off as your own for a while.
Yeah, before the internet, I'm sure people were doing all sorts of that shit. You know what I mean? Just like, here's a concert of my music. You're really good. You're really good.
This is actually the exact opposite of what you just said, though. This is the
Yeah.
equivalent of taking a Franzia box and filling it with the really good bottle of wine. Because you're definitely you're not.
Yeah,
you're
no,
not the
I'm
good bottle
Franzia.
compared to
I'm like
Beethoven.
Yeah, I'm like the leftover Franzia at the end of that party that like the janitor drank. That's me. So also a big thing that happened during this time is, of course,
Corona.
his brother Kaspar died, and then Beethoven had this complicated relationship with his nephew Karl.
Wow. Okay. So
I think it's time to get into that.
it is time to get into that. So what I wanted to talk about was this whole custody battle over his nephew Karl. Now, look, at some point, it seems clear to me that with the whole love that he never fucking got, right? From
Beethoven.
anybody, right?
You're talking about Beethoven.
Yeah, Beethoven.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about Beethoven.
Yeah, but you always
motherfucker.
introduce someone else, then say he. You can't use a pronoun when you got multiple people.
Yeah, well, if you listen to the rest of the sentence, you definitely would have gotten the love that he never got from anybody in his life. All these rejections that he got from these girls. It's clear that he had some sort of fatherly ambition.
Yeah.
I think to myself that he wanted to do a better job at being a father than his father did for him.
Mm-hmm.
The odd part about it is, well, let's first talk about the trial. I'll tell you the odd part about how history repeats itself,
Okay.
basically. But after Kaspar died, his young nephew Karl, which the mother's name was Johanna. Johanna, that's what
Yeah.
it was. Karl gave custody of Karl. No, sorry. Kaspar gave custody to Karl to Beethoven,
Yeah.
to Ludwig van, right?
Yeah.
And right before he died,
Yeah.
apparently the will was changed to give joint custody. Now, I'm really curious.
So his wife and his brother have joint custody of his kid.
Right.
Jeez.
Now, Beethoven maintained to his dying day that she just kind of did that on his deathbed without anything, but I don't necessarily know. There's nothing to say that she was a particularly bad mother. She, by all accounts, was a very loving mother, but Beethoven again pulled the moral card. She's not a moral woman. She doesn't have the moral fortitude to be a fucking mother to this child, right? Which
right.
he really regarded raising a child as some sort of holy endeavor, which it kind of is. You take into your own hands the life of a child.
Right.
But again, he did this thing where it's like he thought he could sort of compose
Right.
the child's life.
Yeah.
Like
Like
form
control it, you know?
Exactly. Form it in the way that he forms a symphony.
Which he wasn't such a fan of it, Carl. There's letters where he said, like, man, that guy's kind of like,
This kid, you mean?
yeah, like he was like, yeah, that guy's kind of aggressive, like in what he writes me, and it's kind of stressful.
The kid writes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean. Oh, no. Beethoven was really fucking strict, and apparently all of Beethoven's best fucking qualities came out again whenever he was raising a child.
Yeah.
He took this is like one of the dark periods of his life, composing life, is this time when he was, first off, the legal battle was years long.
Yeah.
It was years long. So there was he was first involved in like the Landrecht, right? Which is, I never knew about this, but apparently he claimed some kind of noble birth.
Beethoven.
Yeah, that was the court that dealt with any kind of land rights.
Okay.
Like noble land rights. And then then after he couldn't prove that, the case was then given back down to the municipal court, right? So there were two different courts at the time. I mean, it wasn't a perfect time back then either, because there was still a pretty stringent class system.
Sure.
But because of this whole back and forth, and the fact that he took the job of being a father after he got custody so seriously, his composition really dropped off a lot during this time.
Right.
Because he was, again, instead of composing a symphony or a sonata, he was composing a child, is how he looked at it. Which is exactly... He wanted to do a better job than his father.
Yeah.
But he actually ended up doing the exact same fucking job that his father did. His father couldn't get out of the way of Beethoven's genius.
Yeah.
His father, his father was basically like, "Yeah, you're my kid," and he didn't necessarily want to give him over to another composing teacher because he wanted to be Leopold Mozart.
Yeah.
He wanted to have that relation because a lot of Mozart's success was not dedicated to, but given up to Leopold's diligence in putting Mozart forward and being such a good musician. But fucking Johann was not a very good musician. He was a capable musician. He's like you or me. He was a fucking capable guy.
Normal fucking musician.
A normal fucking musician, right? But Beethoven, of course, early on was like, dude, come on, you can't teach me shit, right?
Yeah.
And but Johann did not necessarily want to get out of the way. What he should have done was, holy fuck, go, child. Be free. Express your fucking genius.
Beethoven's father should have said that.
Beethoven's father. And Beethoven was so fucking stringent about teaching the kid diligence and this and fucking everything that Beethoven wanted to be.
Yeah.
He wanted to put into this child, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
You have to let a child and a human be what they're going to be. So in trying to be a better father, what he thought was, I'm so good I can impose it on this child. To be a good father is to get out of the way.
Yeah.
In a major part.
To a certain degree, yeah.
And he didn't fucking get out of the way. He was a very, very overbearing father.
Yeah.
He so much so that the boy constantly thought that he was making Ludwig ashamed. And he then felt ashamed.
So you seem to know more about this than I do. When in all this do you know did Carl then try to kill himself?
That was much later. So Carl tried to kill himself.
The boy
like
that Beethoven
right
was
before
taking care
Beethoven died.
Yeah, it was that much later.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So Carl, of course, Carl loved his mother, but wasn't really allowed to see him, right? And Beethoven, wasn't allowed to see her. Sorry.
Okay.
Beethoven oftentimes restricted that entirely, although the boy would sneak off and go see his mother. Of course.
Okay, yeah.
Of course, the love of a mother, that shit can't be held back.
Nah, dog.
The fucking love of a mother. But Beethoven thought that it was her influence on the child that was making him so ashamed and everything. But really, it was Beethoven's impossible fucking standards.
Yeah, right.
And fucking impossible fucking standards. So this child, this poor motherfucker, although it was coming from a place of love, that's the thing. These things like Beethoven wanting the child to be great comes from an idea of love. But himself being so fucked up, he's not really able to recognize the right way to, quote-unquote, compose a life.
Yeah, sure.
Composing a life means most of the time getting out of the way, when composing a piece is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's like you said, notating every little fucking thing. So later on, of course, and he also worked... He, just like his brother, just like Beethoven's brother, Caspar and Johann, kind of lived in the shadow of Beethoven.
Yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he was known all over Europe and was widely considered to be the greatest composer. How can you not fucking live in that shadow? But if they lived in Beethoven's shadow, fucking young Carl lived in it like crazy and end up shooting himself in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Shooting himself in the head and survived it.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy for back then too.
Yeah, it's crazy for fucking back then because I don't know if you've ever loaded one of those guns, but those guns are not easy to load, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, back then, yeah, it wasn't like just like a fucking pistol with a magazine like these days.
No. You took the little bit of gunpowder, you tapped it back down in there. You got a little ball, lead ball, and pushed it down in.
Yeah. That's fucked up, man, because it's not such a spontaneous decision then, you know? Like, that's why murder laws and stuff were also different back then, because it's like you couldn't just pick up a gun and shoot someone. Like, you really had to think about it a lot, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, like, just like what happened to Beethoven, what he kind of did to that kid, it's like, you can fuck someone up with how you raise them, you know? Like doing too much shit to them too young, putting too much adult fucking problems on them when they're kids. It is
100% in my brain all the time when I'm talking to my kids or being something, like just being around your kids.
Yeah.
You think, what bit of it are they going to fucking remember? Which part is going to make them fucked up later in life?
Yeah, and it's crazy if you think back.
Is it that I drink my coffee a certain way? Like, seriously, psychology is that fucking subtle sometimes that it could just be the slightest thing. And sometimes I think that my loud-ass voice, when I don't mean to be loud, but I've got, like, fucking deaf Beethoven loudness in my voice most of the time. Sure. And I have a feeling that my son is going to grow up just yelling at people because he thinks it's just normal to yell at people.
He'll definitely be as difficult to you to mix in a microphone, that's for sure. Oh man, your audio track takes special care.
Well, you know how to do it now, so I'm not changing shit.
That's true. Yeah, if you did, then it would fuck me up. But at this whole point with Carl and all this stuff that's happening, this is in Beethoven's life around his 40s and 50s, which is also when his deafness starts like basically being full on. You know what I mean? And then this is when we get the emergence of these journals, which is these conversation journals, and we get then a huge rise in the amount of information we have. Beethoven's personal thoughts about his music, life, and other shit. And this is also when we get a lot of his thoughts about like fuck this new German shit, this like fantasy shit, you know. And he really wasn't a fan of the direction music was going. And I don't think.
But who is? He's a human just like everybody else. Everybody is concerned. I mean, most people who listen to or get into opera. How many people do you know that are getting into opera by getting into modern opera? No, they're all getting into fucking Verdi.
Yeah, but he was pretty. He like went back and he was like fuck this shit, and he started at that age in his life going back and like studying Bach and this shit, you know, like he went way back and he was like fuck this, man. Like he just turned his back to it and looked fucking back, you know, like he really was not,
even though his music continued forward.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Yeah.
The Ninth Symphony is as inventive as it gets.
Yeah,
in music,
But it's weird. Sometimes people, you can't. I mean, you need perspective. You need time to go by before you can recognize what your place and everything was. But your perspective of yourself is not usually what it is. No. You know, like you can be causing change that you're not even intending to, and that's how a lot of leaders and famous people are. They created change that was not their intent. You know.
By the way, quiz time.
Oh shit.
This is something that I don't think you should call yourself a classical musician unless you know this fact.
Okay.
How many beans?
Okay.
Did Beethoven like in his coffee?
How many beans? Is this a joke? This sounds like
no,
a joke.
It's not a joke at all. Beethoven specifically counted for each cup of coffee required an exact number of
4 beans.
60.
60?
Who the fuck drinks a cup of coffee with 4 beans?
So, well, I was
you
thinking,
fucking weak ass.
No, fuck you.
Like, what?
Fuck you.
Water?
No. I was
You're like, does this have coffee bean in it? You fucking idiot.
Fuck you. What I was imagining was he has an espresso, and then sometimes they put like some floating at the top. You know what I mean?
No, you fucking idiot.
Like a what's that drink called? Sambuca?
No.
4 beans. Because I was thinking, bomb. That's 4 beans. Okay, 60 beans.
He would sit
Who
there.
Who the fuck counts out 60 coffee beans
but this
for
is
this
what I'm talking about. So, like, this motherfucker counts out 60 coffee beans per cup of coffee.
I'm a spoonful
and
kind
you
of guy.
expect this guy to be a good father?
Yeah, man.
Fucking losing it on a child because he put 37 beans in.
37 beans.
He's like, and he can taste it. Why? Because he's a fucking master. And by the way, his hearing's gone, so now all of his other senses are going through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
He can taste the difference between 38 and 40 coffee beans.
That's true. If you're deaf, then you're going to taste that extra bean.
Yeah.
But I guess at this point in his life, the next big thing that happened, I guess like his big supporter in Vienna, the Rudolf guy, was promoted, and he wrote this like Missa Solemnis piece and stuff like that. And then the next big thing was the Diabelli fucking variations.
That's
I guess.
right. That's an interesting story. I don't really know them. I plan on. I read those today.
Yeah.
I read about them today.
Nice.
And I had never heard of them before.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely plan on going and listening to all that shit. It's an interesting story too about how this Diabelli guy basically wrote all the fucking composers wrote. What was it, Chopin or Liszt that he wrote?
Well,
An
he
8-year-old.
wrote everyone. He wrote Schubert and stuff, and Liszt actually was not included, but his teacher pushed for him to be included, and so then
really?
Liszt, because Liszt was 11 at the time, and so Liszt
11,
So
yeah.
Liszt wrote I think like 1 or 2 variations, but I don't think he was included. But I think his teacher was like, "Nah, you gotta let Liszt do one."
Right.
But
And
basically,
Schubert was and fucking
Schubert, all these guys was, and basically Diabelli had this this like patriotic volume of variations, which he had called the Vaterländische Künstlerverein, like the fatherland artist club.
sounds as Nazi as it gets.
Sounds terrible. And the profits, though, were going to benefit orphans and widows of the what Napoleon had done and all his shit
that's
in
cool.
the wars. Yes, that was kind
Another
of the
benefit concert.
That's kind of what it was. And so it was all this stuff. And there's all these stories of like Beethoven, and nobody knows why exactly, but like he kind of didn't want to do it because it was like beneath him or something. And then he did it like either to like prove like how good he is, or he was convinced to do it after someone offered him money. So nobody knows why, but Beethoven was kind of like, nah. And then later he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he wrote a fuck ton. He wanted to be like the best one.
Right.
So he wrote like 30 fucking variations.
Yeah.
And a lot of famous musicians throughout time, pianists, but also other people have been like, that shit is some of the best shit ever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that take the time to study it are like, that's some of the best work like out there. So I also am not that familiar with them, but I might go back and listen to them. So it was this waltz variation, and then Beethoven like kept a lot in the same key. He would take one little like movement in the variation, he would make a whole fucking song out of it. So apparently it's kind of a, you can just have an academic fucking circle jerk just sitting down with these scores listening with 60 beans in your coffee. Someone's going to do that. One of you fuckers out there just got a half chub, because I'm talking about, why don't you have a full Beethoven experience? Listen to the waltz, the original Diabelli waltz, put 60 fucking beans in your cup of coffee.
And jerk off
and
with a
then
handkerchief.
jerk off into a handkerchief. And then look at every subtle
The
variation. and
SDAO
stuff like that.
Beethoven challenge.
Yeah.
Hashtag SDAO Beethoven challenge.
Yeah, look for it on Instagram.
Everybody, I think we have to. You're going to have to put this on Twitter because you can't put porn on Instagram.
No.
But porn is still fucking flying high on Twitter.
Is it?
Yeah, which means you could jerk off on Twitter with 60 beans of coffee and listening to the Diabelli variations.
There's full-on porn on Twitter.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You could. I mean, I've seen disgusting shit on Twitter before.
Damn. Okay. So I can't segue away from that.
Which
so I'm
is
just gonna do
funny
a hard
because
segue.
they actually, Twitter's known for basically censoring speech, but they won't censor porn.
No.
Fucking Twitter.
Fuck 'em.
I am not a Twitter person. I'm sorry.
Let's close it down, man. Close that channel down.
Yeah,
Fuck
fucking
it.
close. Oh, yeah, the Twitter one.
Yeah, close that shit down, dude.
I still announce shit on it, but
Do you?
fuck it.
Fuck
I
it.
hate it. I hate
Close
it.
that
because
shit down. Put a dick pic on there and close it down.
That's not who we are anyway. We're long-winded, you and I.
Yeah. We're
Fuck
not
this
tweeting.
character restriction.
Fuck that, man.
and
Hour and
everything.
a half podcast. So so Beethoven's in his fucking 50s, right? And he's all fucking like hot, like crotchety and shit. And he actually rekindles the relationship with his brother at this point.
Right.
And then we end with what's his name? Johann, right? And so his brother's there and like a regular visitor and helping him out with shit. And so then we enter into Beethoven's like final period, I guess you call it. This is 1823, 1824-ish. And so he's now in his mid-50s, and this is kind of like the end, right? This type of stuff. He had a lot of big works he did in this time. Of course, the Missa Solemnis we already mentioned, the Diabelli variations. Also, I think Mike had mentioned the Ninth Symphony. This all then came at this time. And this is this famous story at the premiere of the Ninth Symphony where he was standing there next to the conductor, beating time, and the conductor Umlauf was like, just fucking ignore him. Like, he told all the singers and orchestra people, they're like, he's going to stand there like clapping and stomping his foot, just fucking ignore that guy. And that's the famous story where like he couldn't hear the applause, and so they
Right.
turned him around. BT Dubs, side note, Beethoven was never completely deaf. Till the end of his life, he could always hear like a sudden loud sound or like low tones.
Okay.
So,
then.
I mean, but people talk about it like he was completely fucking deaf, but like he just had very bad untreated things, which with a hearing aid and stuff these days, he might have been okay. Who knows? But,
Which, by the way, before we get to the Ninth Symphony, there's a great story about this guy. Do you remember reading about the Gabauer? This Gebauer guy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and Beethoven had
He
said
made
like,
a joke. Wait. Let me get it. Let me get it in there. Don't fucking take the joke right away.
Man, all right.
He did. What was it?
Bauer.
This guy put on a fucking like series of concerts where he's like, Beethoven's awesome. Let's do all of his shit. And he did all of the 8 symphonies that existed at that time.
Right.
The fucking Christ on the Mount of Olives, the Mass in C, all that kind of shit. And Beethoven being and I think even the money went to Beethoven and stuff like that.
Nice.
Of course it did because he had publishing rights and everything. But it was a big fucking event, and Beethoven being the fucking dick that he was.
Yeah.
And a guy who, by the way, couldn't hear very well, so I don't exactly know what he was judging it on.
Yeah.
Thought that they fucking sucked.
Yeah, right.
So he said, Gebauer.
Right.
So Gebauer was the guy's name for you fuckers who don't understand the German language. Ge is short for gehen or go.
Yeah, it's like the command form. It's like, get the fuck out.
Exactly.
Go.
And Bauer means like farmer, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, that's kind of like an insult to be like, you fucking peasant.
Yeah, peasant. Yeah, is a good translation.
And actually, okay, so I wanted to say something about this too. We've talked about how people don't write in the right or effective way, right?
So you didn't finish that. So Beethoven said to someone, "Gay Bauer," or what?
Yeah, he's like, "Gay Bauer," like,
Like-
and this is what I was gonna say. So
okay.
in the fucking article where I read this, they wrote, "Be gone, Bauer,"
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
"Be gone, peasant." Which isn't the right way to write it.
To
Get
translate
the
it, you
fuck
mean?
out of here, peasant.
Oh, these days. Yeah.
Like, we're reading it nowadays, so why write "be gone"?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't know, man, because it's all about the people who read this shit. You know? It's all
Yeah,
about the people who read this shit.
but it was an offensive thing to say. So if you read it, you should recognize it as being offensive.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be something that you chortle at.
Yeah, but the people who write this stuff are I mean, come on, what type of person's gonna like research that? It's gonna be some academic person, you know, that wants
I know,
to
but
be
it's a cool
respected
story.
and stuff. No, I like it. Like Beethoven's like, "Be gone, twat," and he does this shit.
Yeah, that's the better way to say it.
Don't ever do this again, Mike.
Redneck. Why?
Because every time the table moves, we hear it in your microphone. Your
Oh,
microphone
I guess
stand
so.
is touching
I guess
the
so.
table.
But now that we have these big robot cocks in our faces, our
We're
arms,
we're
our
holding
microphones'
off
arms
on
aren't-
the video podcast for the time being because these new mics we have are really nice, but they're so heavy that we're having trouble finding mic stands that can hold them.
Right.
And we're not going to do a video until we can get these things out of our fucking face because this would look ridiculous what we're doing right here.
This looks stupid as hell.
But pretty soon we're going to do another one. So
anyway, he took this nice gesture of this gay Bauer
I was just like, fuck that guy.
and fuck that guy, even though he couldn't hear it.
Right. And so basically, we're pretty damn close to the end of this. So I guess at this point in his life is then when the whole thing with Carl trying to kill himself happens, and then he survives, you know, and he lives with old Beats, you know, Beethoven, and also Johann. I think they helped him recuperate, and I think he joined the military or something, didn't he? Didn't Carl go off to join the military?
That's right.
And then Beethoven's health started to decline at this point, and I think you had mentioned on the podcast once, this is where, like, in his final day, he was like, everybody, the comedy's over, right? And then somebody sent him wine, and he was like, oh, too bad, too late, right? Because he couldn't drink the wine because he fucking died before he had a chance to drink it. Because he, of course, became more and more of an alcoholic
It was
towards
like
the end
his
of his
last
life.
words, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. Or like a couple days later, I think he might have died. But
Dude,
I think
I'd be an alcoholic. If I couldn't hear
yeah.
and it was just the end, dude, I'm going to drink and try to fuck and do any drugs that I want. When it gets to the end, what is the purpose of holding back at that point?
I don't know. You're kind of describing how you act now, so I'm not really sure.
Dude, at the end, I'm going to be having like 67 beans in my coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going nuts.
Going fucking wild, man. But, yeah, man, I don't know. What, you got any other tidbits you want to add about Beethoven?
Got no titbits.
Yeah.
I mean,
this shit's all terrible to edit out, man. When I
just fucking concentrate, dude. The other thing that I liked is Beethoven. I don't want to say he's more of an artist,
yeah,
but Beethoven cared so fucking much about the art.
Yeah.
About the fucking expressivity about it.
Yeah.
He used to do these things like, which I actually do. When I read about this, I was really intrigued by it because he I do this in my music sometimes. If I hear like a gesture, a musical gesture that means something to me, I'll write over what exactly it meant to me.
Okay.
And he did this in this one, I think it was a piano trio or something like that. He actually wrote over the score that the people used. Muss es sein? Does it have to be this way? And then later there was like an answer to that, and he's like, "Doch, das muss sein."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got to be this way. You know,
sorry. And that was
which
like
means,
a translation of the musical gesture or whatever.
yeah, exactly. It meant something to him musically,
Yeah.
right? Which I when I try to listen, when I am acting at least on stage, I'll often listen to or look at the orchestra score and try to time emotions with the orchestra score. Now, sometimes it's hard. I mean, I don't try to do it all the time because it can be forced.
Sure.
But when I hear something that could inform my acting, I try to make it a one-to-one thing where my acting is then timed so it corresponds with this musical gesture. And I'll oftentimes write over what exactly
if you're
what
on
I'm feeling.
stage during an orchestral like transition interlude or something.
And I was really moved by the way that he would do that. I mean, it seems to me that this guy could have been poor and written.
Yeah.
Because he had he not been a composer, he'd have killed him. He'd have definitely killed himself
Probably.
with the thing, because he didn't just have hearing loss.
Yeah.
This tinnitus or whatever it's
Tinnitus,
called
yeah.
is the ringing in the ear.
Tinnitus. Yeah.
It's a ringing, which means he constantly had. Imagine that shit.
Yeah, man.
Imagine that shit.
Yeah.
And
Then you're trying to
imagine-
write music and shit and listen to music. Yeah.
So you said losing your hearing wouldn't be a big deal to a trained musician. There you're right.
But
But
to have
having
that,
a tone in your head all the time would absolutely.
yeah, that would fucking suck. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but it's. I love Beethoven because I mean, I don't listen to that many symphonic composers because I'm of course like way into opera and it's most of like what I do, you know, and stuff. But it's true. As opera singers, we have like lyrics and stuff most of the time that kind of like, you know, you don't have to imagine what something means. You can say it. I think on the podcast once we talked about Adagio for strings. Was that Barber, right? And everyone thinks it's like ecstasy, but some people hear it as sadness, you know.
Right.
And I kind of like that about symphonic music because it's like. You can hear it as different things, you know, and it can change in your life. You know, I listened to Claire de Lune the other day, and it's like I used to hear it as a sad song, and like now it starts to sound like more hopeful and stuff like that. So colors change over time, and I think sometimes it has more of a mainstream thing because that's the hardest thing about writing music in general, especially if you write words, is if you literally say what something is and you leave no room for interpretation, then you really limit the number of people. Then you better write someone who wants to hear that idea expressed in the emo rock way you expressed it.
Totally.
But when you say somewhere over the rainbow, that kind of applies to everybody, which is why those songs are so great and they stand the test of time.
Totally.
And that's what Beethoven was able to do with his music. You know, the Fifth Symphony, some people hear it as heroic, some people hear it as violent and angry, you know?
I mean, I think so. The majority of our people listening are opera singers, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who aren't, and maybe just are orchestra musicians, which they probably have less of a need to do this. But if I can give you one bit of advice, not you, Jared, but our listeners,
Okay.
is you need to really acquaint yourself with all aspects of Beethoven's music. There's maybe no other composer in the world or in history that you need to do this with. So, I mean, Mozart wrote how many operas? Symphonies, over 40. Not all of them are particularly worth listening to. Sometimes he just woke up in the morning and shat out a symphony.
Sometimes you got to get
that's what
something
it was.
done, you know?
Every single one of Beethoven's symphonies are worth listening to. Every single one of Beethoven's piano sonatas are worth listening to. His piano concertos, the trios, the fucking string quartets.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Honestly, it's funny. The place where he contributed the least is opera and song, I think.
Yeah. Which is because he didn't like it. Because when, and like I said, we're recording this a bit out of order, but like when we record the Fidelio one next, we'll talk about the fact that he fucking hated it, man. He said later, he's like, like I did one, but like that fucking sucked. Like he didn't like the process of like revising it and making it good. He wasn't a huge fan of it.
Which, Spoiler alert, I'm not actually the biggest fan of it either.
Fidelio? Yeah, there's a couple bangers.
There is, and the best piece of music is the symphonic thing, the Leonora Overture, which they oftentimes play in the opera.
The Leonora, which was the original overture, which then got revised later.
Which is amazing. It's so good. And I recently performed this fucking opera, and I would just sit. It didn't matter what was going on. I would sit and wait for that piece of music.
Yeah.
And then I would just be backstage and listen and just fucking listen. And I rarely, if I have a break in an opera, I'm in my dressing room looking at whatever and doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I rarely go backstage and just listen, and it was the Leonora Overture that does it. I mean, his symphonic music he was able to do in such a special way. You have to equate yourself. If you guys aren't aware of how influential his piano music is or his quartets is or his symphonies are, you have to go back and listen. It's imperative.
I totally agree with everything you're saying, but while you were saying that, I just looked up something because there was a fact I wanted to put on this.
Yeah.
We had said once on the podcast before that the length of the CD was determined because of Beethoven, right?
Right.
And I wasn't sure if that was actually true or not, so I just looked it up now. And I read a thing that Sony had initially preferred a smaller diameter, a smaller distance of the CD, but soon after the beginning of the collaboration, they argued for a diameter of 120 millimeters, and the argument was simple and compelling to maximize the consumer appeal. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Any piece of music needed to fit on a single CD. And so they used Beethoven's Ninth Symphony as a point of reference, right? And so that's why a side of a CD, it had to be able to fit the Ninth Symphony or something like that. Like, that's how... And so, still today, it's like we talk about on the podcast all the time. There's these things that, seem random, but they're not. The lengths of times and things, they come from somewhere. And, I mean... Goddamn CDs! How long after that guy was dead did CDs come out? And they're still going to determine the structure of this thing, which still exists today, is based off this guy's Ninth Symphony.
You want to hear something fucking crazy?
What? I mean, yes. Always.
If it weren't for the Romans, standard car width and especially train tracks. If it weren't for the Romans, would not be that way. And it comes all the way from there was a standardized width of Roman times of wheelbase.
Yeah.
And that was to control who was going in and out of cities. If you go to an old Roman city, you see these things, these grooves in the stones where all those fucking wheels were going through, and they wanted to be able to control the flow of traffic in and out of the cities. So a standard wheelbase was one way of doing that, and there were Roman roads up in England. So then the standard width of fucking wagons was put to the Roman width because a lot of the roads were already to that standard size. So why fucking change it? And then the fucking railroad sizes also happen that way.
You know what I like?
The width of the fucking things. I'm saying that because Beethoven wrote a certain size.
Yeah.
So then that's why we have a CD the same size.
I love it because we had this literal word for word conversation on the podcast before. Yes, 100%.
God damn it.
100%. It's funny. If we replaced you of a version of yourself from a different dimension, we would just have the same conversations.
How do you let me do this though? It's embarrassing.
It's not
now
embarrassing,
I'm on
man.
Here.
Well, someone probably hadn't heard it before.
It's because my wife says the same fucking thing. She'll do the same fucking thing to me. She'll sit there and say, that's interesting. It's almost as interesting as the exact word for word thing that you told me before. And she'll let me get to the end of it and let me just step in my own pile of shit.
Nah, man. Someone out there hadn't heard the last time.
Well, you're the one who made the comparison to the CD. It seems the same.
Yeah, but I mean, I know. But I also don't know where we said it. It could have been a secret sponsor podcast. It could have been one of the promo videos we made.
Fuck it.
It's somewhere out there. Roman Chariots and Trains. MichaelPecker.com. Check it out. But
no, don't. I haven't updated that website for a while.
Take that shit down. You should put that story on there. That should be your landing page. A picture of railroad tracks, and you stand with your arms crossed, and then just
some fucking pretentious ass.
No, but never related to singing. Just have a fact about Roman chariots, and then boom, Michael Pegger.
Did we talk about on the what is it to be an opera singer, the idea of being an opera singer? Did we talk about headshots in that one?
I think so.
I have seen since then a fucking I wonder what Beethoven's fucking headshot. Well, I guess he had headshots. These fucking
A lot of these paintings where he looks crazy are like really accurate. I read.
So apparently really accurate, but that one where he's kind of like holding up a fucking pen, there's no way that Beethoven was like, "Hey, can you better hold up the pen in my painting?"
Yeah.
You know, he must have been. So we talk about how the fucking shitty modern things where people are looking into the camera like they're about to fucking kill you or something, right? Yeah. We talk about that, but Beethoven definitely said, "I want to hold the pen in the painting, not in real life. You know what a pen looks like when someone holds it. We don't need to sit here with the pens the whole time."
That's how this guy would sound. His life would make a fantastic movie, though, I think.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you a plug. It's not supposed to be on YouTube, but it is on YouTube.
No.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
BBC did a 3-part series of Beethoven's life, and they did one of Mozart's life.
Okay.
Like the BBC Lives of the Composers or something. Go look up BBC Beethoven documentary. Also look up BBC Mozart documentary. The acting in it is fucking brilliant. The production of it is brilliant. They will use like letters, and they'll do it's like an interview format. So they have like Haydn on there, and he's talking about, he wouldn't let me put he refused outright to put the reference to me as his teacher, and talking about like that kind of hurt me, right?
Okay, cool.
It's an amazing documentary, and Mozart did the same thing. They did the same thing with Mozart.
That sounds cool. I'll definitely check that out because I for years, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I'm gonna pegger you all. For years, I used to have a Mozart documentary that I had on my iPad just for the purpose of going to sleep. That thing would put anyone to sleep in 20 minutes. It was so fucking boring. I don't know how I got it, but I normally can't sleep on trains and planes, but I turned that fucking thing on, and every time. Even if I wasn't tired, I was out. It was like fucking magic, dude. I wish I knew what it was because I would plug it for anyone out there with sleep problems.
Do you know Bob Ross is famous in Germany? Did we talk about this already?
Yeah. I never know if you're telling me a joke. This sounds like the setup for a joke.
He's absolutely famous in Germany because people will put it on and fall asleep to it.
Oh, Germans love doing that. There's a famous audio book, Die drei Fragezeichen, the 3 question marks. And people in Germany are like, they all listen to it when they're falling asleep so much that the character actors that do this made like an online skit of them talking someone to sleep or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually kind of funny.
I didn't know that. That's
for
cool.
German humor. But like...
which isn't funny.
But it's funny. That's the shit where if you can speak German perfectly. You can have perfect fucking German. But if you didn't grow up here, you're always going to be not German,
You're an outsider.
Because you didn't listen to that shit. And if you didn't listen to it as a kid, you're definitely not going to get into it as an adult.
Right.
It's like I meet people all the time that have like an American father, but they like live in Germany and they really want to be American. And it's like, do you remember Gushers? They're like, what? And I'm like, get the fuck out. Gushers, man. Come on.
You remember? That's your standard for American culture.
What do you got,
Gushers.
man? Pretty much Hot Pockets, Gushers, and those little cheese snacks that had the crackers with the red stick. And the cheese, you remember that shit?
Yeah, of course. With the red plastic stick.
Yeah, man.
Which was not ergonomic at all.
No, we would just plastic everything back then.
It was just fucking a scrape stick.
Oh, yeah. No, that was not...
You could fit it to your hand somehow.
Well, at least curve it. You're going to be a round fucking thing with a fucking square stick.
Right,
what
we want to scoop. And it had those ridges on the edge.
No.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it was not just a stick. It had, like, the ridges running down each side.
Yeah, and that thing...
Which made it harder to lick it off. So, if you're going to do that, you might as well create a little fucking spoon.
And that thing fucking stood the test of time, but Dunkaroos came and went. I never got that,
Dunkaroos came and went.
I never got that at all.
I'm surprised that Pop-Tarts eventually kind of won the battle over...
Toaster strudels?
Toaster strudels.
Yeah, that was fucked up. People are too lazy because nobody cooks Pop-Tarts. Who's cooking Pop-Tarts?
No one's cooking Pop-Tarts.
I've never seen someone cook a Pop-Tart.
Well, I used to if I did it. Like in the morning, we would get
if you're having like a self-care day or something like that.
If you need to take a strudel and cry.
Yeah, you got a bubble bath. Like, I'll cook my Pop-Tarts today.
But toaster strudels
were the shit.
Fucking amazing.
Oh, those were so fucking good.
You got that creamy jizz out and you just put it on top.
And then they came out with the meat and cheese ones. I got hard into those.
We got to watch now. Everybody's going to think we're gay. We're going full Seinfeld and George Costanza in that one episode. Everybody's going to think we're gay after Empty.
Oh, the mini opera. Yeah,
After the mini opera.
Yeah,
because
that's
now
fine.
I'm
You
talking
don't
about
know.
like you take that jizz out and you put it on the toaster strudel.
Maybe we are, man. You guys don't get to ask.
Not that there's
no?
anything wrong with that.
No, man. If Mike and I want to, explore each other's bodies after every podcast we do as a routine, that's on us.
I can taste you on my fingers.
I don't know where that song came from.
Why'd you say white flakes in the bed?
Because the joke is
Not white stains.
no, because the joke is. You obviously think it's sexual. You've gone too soon. I feel empty. I need you inside of me. And it's like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then it's, I can feel you. I can taste you on my fingers. I can just smell lingers. I can taste you on my fingers. And then for me, the joke had to have a what the fuck moment. You know, your white flakes in the bed. You're like, wait, what? It's like I wanted more of a wait, what moment. I don't want to double down on the dirty sex joke.
No, totally. So you say, your white flakes in my bed. I love you, garlic bread.
And so
it's not so far apart that it's too early. You're right.
no,
You're right.
So I thought for me it was like
preps it.
what the fuck? Oh, but if you double down on the sex thing, I don't know. I could have gone that way. Your white.
No.
Your
I
white
think
sauce.
you're right. See,
also,
your time was
garlic
good.
bread also doesn't have. I guess some has sauce.
No, it
Some has
doesn't.
sauce.
No, you're totally right because it's the garlic sauce when it comes off of there on a bed would be sort of like transparent. It wouldn't be cummy looking.
Yeah, your transparent oil on my bed sheets was maybe the better lyric.
Is not the better lyric. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
if you guys don't know it, people, go fucking watch it because it is a masterpiece. And Jared, by the way, I don't know if he did it. See, this is the kind of interpretation that happens after. And the composer's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess that works, right? Jared, at one point, I love you, garlic bread, put himself way up on top over me, like vocally. And what that's doing is that's Jared implying that if we were a gay couple, he'd be the top.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's exactly
I can't believe
what
you knew. No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, that's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah.
You were taking the top position
Yeah.
by force.
Yeah. I
You
took,
fucking did that.
at the climax, I took the top. That's true. I did do that.
See, this is sometimes composers write shit, and they don't even know what they're writing until somebody else performs it, and then the academics come out.
Yeah.
If somebody writes a paper, they're going to be writing about how forcefully you took the top and smashed my face down into the pillows.
You know what's
and just
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
spread
dude.
the boob cheeks.
You know what's funny? To transition away from me clapping Mike's cheeks is like I've written a lot of stuff for like recitals, and like the real reason I write something is because it's cool. You know, that's often like I'm like, oh yeah, I thought it was cool, but like for the recital we got coming up and stuff, it's like when I write program notes, I kind of pull shit out of nowhere, but it sounds really legitimate.
As long as it maps onto what you wrote, who the fuck
That's
cares?
what I mean, and I kind of do what like we do to Beethoven's music. You do that to yourself, and you're like, yeah, well, it really represents this dichotomy we all have within us, between like the nurture and nature aspect. That like you say this bullshit, and people are like, oh wow,
Right, like,
But
okay, so on this BBC thing,
you always do it backwards.
on this
you know?
BBC documentary, they start talking about, like, in this period, like, the intervals in his melodic fragments starting to get wider, and it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
That is a nice little theory. And I don't have any problem with it, by the way. I don't necessarily have a problem with you taking your opinion and just interpolating it onto somebody else's music. That's fine. It's actually necessary to make you an artist. Great. But that's not how I'm almost positive that's not how he interpreted it.
And the thing is influence will happen to you when you're writing music, and you don't know why. You know, like when we wrote, what was that? The Ghost mini opera we did or whatever. There's right before or during the Ghost montage. There's this really chromatic stuff, right?
Right.
It's like serial, and like that was cool. Like it happened, and then like a year later, I was listening to it. And I was like, yeah, this sounds a lot like Muse, like the band Muse, which at that time I was listening to a lot of.
Really?
And like it totally is. Yeah. That whole like this chromatic. I'll find you an example. And I'll send it to you. But Muse, the band, they do that all the time, and so you're not always aware of your influences.
Oh, absolutely not.
As a composer. And so Beethoven, it's like if he's doing something different, it's not like, well, deep down he must have realized that the tritone scientifically, like, nah, man, the dude was like in a city where people were playing a lot of like this composer, and he fucking heard it and like thought it was cool.
Totally.
It's that fucking simple,
actually,
you know?
by the way, when it comes to art, our memes I'm glad that nobody's ever like really, really accused us of stealing a meme or anything like that, because like, so there's us and there's this memes for opera singers, right?
Okay.
And one time I way accidentally, kind of like our memes were very, very similar.
Yeah.
But they've done it to us too. You go back and look at it, they accidentally fucking like come up with the exact same meme and post it after we do. But it's oftentimes memes are come from ideas that are cultural at that time. So it's not unbelievable that we're having the same thoughts about something.
It's a lot of things. It's like there's only so many opera jokes you can make.
And there are only so many memes.
We've been
out
making
there.
opera jokes for 3 years. It's like there's not a lot of jokes.
Right,
There's
seriously,
not
we're
a lot
running
of
out.
Well, there's not a lot of jokes. You just make the same joke over and over, but you change it a little bit.
Plus,
you know,
they're almost certainly using at least one of the same apps that we're using, which puts certain meme formats above other ones, which means that we're looking at the same memes probably at the same fucking time, and then
there's a lot of
memes
external stuff that
oftentimes
affects
just pop out of you, so it's bound to fucking happen.
And
people.
at the end of the day, who gives a shit? But like with music, it's like there's also trends that happen that you absorb without knowing it. Like, I don't know if Hans Zimmer did it first or who did it first, but like right now in cinematic music, but also like in any type of music, these fucking like bass drop, like brass blasts. You know?
Blah.
Yeah. Blah, da, 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 blah. Like, that's just everything you fucking hear is like slow strings, like with like this like muddy articulation over fat brass drops. Like, blah, 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 blah. Every fucking movie I watch is doing that, you know? Like the Marvel themes, the Avenger themes. It's like it's all the fucking like same brass stuff, you know? Yeah. And that gets into you. You can't fucking stop it. And
Can't fucking stop it, people.
So you just let the
inspiration
come on your face, and then you put it back on someone else's face.
Listen, before we wrap this one up, we want to say thank you to our sponsors for helping us make all these fucking podcasts possible.
Yes, sponsors, thank you very much. For those of you that are interested in hearing the Fidelio podcast that we released 2 weeks ago with the first Beethoven one, please follow us on Patreon. You go to Patreon, all the information is there. There's also lots of ways to support us. A lot of people have been buying stickers lately. We're always happy to send those out.
There's also a secret sponsor podcast coming out with this episode, but we're just going to keep it a secret. We're not telling you what it is.
Yeah, man. So just go dive
fucking
deep.
find out.
Also, buy me a coffee for one-time donations. So just also you can always write us to let us know if you want to collaborate or how you can help us keep the podcast growing and showing. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Everyone take care of yourself, and see you there.